Hi, my name is Brooke Haggerty. Welcome to today's episode of For the Love of Food. Today we are talking pasta, but we are talking gluten-free pasta. Actually, we are talking vegetable pasta. I'm going to use one of my favorite tools. I love kitchen gadgets, and this is a little thing that I bought at the dollar store, and it makes amazing noodles. So we're going to be turning our gorgeous squash and zucchini right here into some fabulous noodles. We're going to have a little bit of tomato sauce, a nice fresh tomato sauce that we're going to be using. We're going to be making meatballs today, but instead of regular meatballs, we're going to be making a lamb ball with a little bit with ground lamb and ground goat cheese. All of this in one pot because everybody knows that we don't want to spend our entire summer in the kitchen. So this is something that's really easy for you to make as soon as you get home from work. You could actually make your meatballs the night before if you want and pop them in sauce and get everything simmering down. This whole thing is going to take about 15 minutes for us to make. So let me go ahead and get started with this is ground lamb, just a regular ground lamb, and I make sure it's broken up nice and good down here. I'm going to season it. I'm going to season it with some garden herb seasoning, some lemon pepper, some truffle salt, just a little bit. I'm going to use some a wet garlic mix. Nice wet garlic, so we want to get that all nice in there. And then I'm going to bring something in that I don't traditionally use in the middle of the summer, but my dill plant in my garden this year has not survived the heat. We've had a hellacious summer rather of heat the last couple of weeks, and my dill plant just went kaput. So I have this awesome dill in a paste, in toothpaste. I call it toothpaste dill. We're just going to put that right in there. You still get all the great flavors of the dill, nice and fresh. This is a wonderful, wonderful product. I use these year round. I keep them in my refrigerator. They're good up for like 2 to 3 months. You get all kinds of different flavors with it. There's different brands. So just check your local grocery store for that. And you can find that anywhere. Wonderful finds, especially in the wintertime when you want something that's going to smell fresh and delicious. Okay, so I've got my dill in here with my lamb. We're adding the goat cheese now to our lamb, and it's going to give a nice creaminess to the lamb balls that we're going to be doing. So just a little, you don't need a ton, just a little bit in there. That's probably about 2 tablespoons that I put in there to a pound of ground lamb. You see, I'm just mixing it up. Get it in there, and again, I'm using my favorite tools, my hands. You know, I love to use your hands. You can feel what you're doing. It's just like when you're out in the garden. You know, you're out there, you're with your fruits and your vegetables or your flowers, and you can really feel what you're doing. So I'm just going to make a few meatballs out of here, a few lamb balls out of this. Put them right down here. Then all we're going to do with these is we are going to put them in a pot with a little bit of olive oil and let them get browned up for a couple of minutes. While those are browning, we're going to go ahead and work with our squash and our zucchini, and they're going to get turned into noodles for us. You see that I also have some beautiful tomatoes here. This is a combination of canned tomatoes, canned diced tomatoes, and fresh tomatoes that I just put together earlier today. So it's nice and juicy. You see all those juices in there. Let's make these meatballs a little bit more uniform in size so they cook the same way. I know it doesn't look exactly tremendously appetizing right now, but once these get all browned up and in the sauce, it's going to be wonderful. You're really going to enjoy this wonderful one-pot dinner. If you don't want to use squash and zucchini, you can, by all means, you can make pasta. Make any noodle of your choice would be fabulous with this. This is just, the lamb balls it's a nice change to the traditional meatball. And it's also a wonderful way to introduce your younger children to something that's a little bit different. I mean, it looks like a meatball, but it doesn't taste like a meatball. So, and we eat with our eyes first. So it's better to eat with your eyes first. Get an idea of what they think they're going to get. And then when they taste this wonderful taste explosion, they're really going to be excited. So I'm going to put this over here, get my hands washed up. Okay, so my hands are washed now. I'm going to put my pot on high. As you know, I'm cooking on my induction cooktop here, so it does cook a little bit quicker than your regular stove tops at home, or even gas if you've got gas or electric. Just a little bit in the bottom. We're going to let that get nice and hot. One thing I love about the induction cooktop, though, I have to tell you, is that I can put the stuff that I'm not using right here on top of it, and it's perfect. Doesn't affect it at all. So my oil is getting hot. Yep, I can hear the sizzle from the balls. We're going to put our balls in here, our little lamb balls. We're going to let our lamb balls start browning. While our lamb balls are browning, we're going to go ahead and start working with our squash and our zucchini. Again, this is my little handhold vegetable spiralizer. Love it. I picked it up at the dollar store. You know, it's not perfect for my larger jobs, but for the smaller jobs like this, it's wonderful. It's easy to use. You just slide it in there. And look at that. Look at those noodles coming out. You need to have a little bit of a thinner squash or zucchini or whatever vegetable you're using in here. I have found that like sweet potatoes are hard to do in here, so you want a softer vegetable that's going to go in here. So look at these gorgeous, gorgeous noodles coming out. And it looks like a pencil top. So the kids will like that. This is actually something that the kids can help you with too. It'd be fun for them to do. I'm making dinner for 2 today. A girlfriend is coming over to help me eat later on while my husband is busy working. So look at this. So simple and easy. And it saves you so much in calories. You're saving about 200 calories per serving in this. And not to mention, if you need to be gluten-free, this is a wonderful alternative, and they will take next to no time to cook. Let me go ahead and see how my balls are doing here. Oh, they're doing lovely. They're browned on one side. I'm going to go ahead and add some tomatoes in. Woo! Turn my heat down just a little bit. There we go. There we go. So we've got our tomato mix in there. I'll turn the heat back up a little bit. We'll start simmering down on these lamb balls. Terrific. Just enough to cover the bottom because we really want the flavor of everything to come out. So you don't need too much sauce. You know, this is not a regular tomato sauce that we're doing. So, but I want to add a little bit more flavor to this. I'm going to add a little depth to what we're doing with our sauce. So I'm going to put in here, I'm going to put a little bit more garlic in. Put a little garlic in there. I'm going to add some capers as well. Capers are going to give a nice salty brininess to this. Very similar to a puttanesca sauce is what we're making here. So capers, some nice, add that nice salt to it. Yeah, I'm going to put a little goat cheese in our sauce as well, just a little tiny bit. That'll melt down right in there, and it'll add a little extra depth and creaminess to what we're doing. So let's let that cook down in there. I made the meatballs small enough so they're only going to take about 5 to 7 minutes to cook. You can make them any size that you like. This smells really, really nice, I have to tell you. The meatballs are holding together nicely. If you want to, you can add breadcrumbs into your meatballs when you're doing them. I was trying, I was going the gluten-free route on today's meal, so I omitted the breadcrumbs, but you can definitely do that. You can add a little egg for a binder if you like. That's why I use the cheese today. If you don't, or you can use any cheese in there that you like. You don't necessarily have to use the goat cheese. The goat cheese is a little bit of a stronger cheese, while it's smooth and creamy. It does have a distinct taste, and not everyone likes that taste of the goat cheese. Personally, I absolutely love the taste of the goat cheese. So let me clean up a little bit over here. Oh, this is beautiful. It smells wonderful in here. I'm going to turn it down to a little bit of a simmer. I'm going to do a little taste of my sauce. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That's really nice. The dill's coming out. I think what I want to do is, I think I want to add a little basil to this though. Just to add a little extra brightness. I do have some basil from my garden for this year. So let me just grab some fresh basil. I'm going to go ahead and cut that down. I'll chiffonade style that down. Wrap it just like you do a cigar. A couple of leaves in there. I'm going to keep a little bit on the side and we'll use that for a garnish. But we'll put a little bit in our sauce. Stir that up a bit. Again, just a quick little sauce here. You know, people are always amazed at how quickly you can cook dinner. Dinner does not have to be long and complicated. No meal really has to be long and complicated. Now, they can be, and they're delicious when you do that, but they don't always have to be. So let me go ahead and put our noodles in. And we're going to stir those up. Oh, this is beautiful in here. These will soak in for about a minute or two. Doesn't need much time. We'll let that soak in. I'm going to add another layer of flavor by adding some Parmesan cheese to the sauce as well. This is going to give a nice little nuttiness, and then we're going to we'll also garnish with the cheese. Now, this is Parmesan cheese that I just grated myself a little while ago. I tell people all the time, spend the extra money to get the hard Parmesan cheese. Grate it down yourself and do it you can do it a day or two in advance if you want, but there's nothing like that fresh grated cheese coming right off from that rind. It gives you just, oh my gosh, a pop of nuttiness and freshness, and again, add some more cream. It's fantastic. So here we go. Oh, this is beautiful. Let me go ahead and get a bowl ready here. Grab my tongs. Oh, this is going to be fabulous. Right off from here. Oh, look at that. Delicious, nutritious, and ready in 10 minutes. Oh. Let me grab my spoon here. Get a little extra sauce on there. Who would not be proud to serve this to their family and friends? Wow, imagine this in a big bowl with all your family and friends all around it. Scooping out what they want. A little Parmesan cheese. Yum. A little fork for the food chick to have a little sample. Yum, yum, yum. This is delicious. My name is Brooke Haggerty. I'm the Food Chick. Thanks for joining me today on For the Love of Food.